somewhere in the center. It's not on my side, it's not on his side, it's somewhere here. But I do know the state of Arkansas likes to work with OPEC. And I don't make a dime out of it. OPEC costs me money, I'll be honest with you. I'd be better off getting off the board. And I've had people say, Jim, why are you still in that thing? Why do you take all that abuse? Because I love Camden. And I'm here to stay. And we need a unified, we need to work together as one. But we have to have a voice where that our industry knows we want it. And OPEC has never turned down anything for Camden. Anything that has ever been brought up to do in Camden, we discuss it. We vote on it. It's not one person decides, it comes to a vote. And I've got to say this, and I don't want to offend anybody. There's not many secret meetings. There's no secret meetings. We all work. We don't have time for secret meetings. There's not an agenda. What's an agenda? I mean, I just can't believe all this. If y'all ever know me, I'll tell the truth, I want the person to step up. Face me right now. I'm going to tell you the truth, and I don't know.
So let me mention one in particular, and then I'm not saying that you are not telling the truth. I'm saying that my experience of that truth is different. I went to an executive board meeting, and everybody who came to that meeting except one person who came late came out of the executive director's office to the executive board meeting where I got my butt chewed out about giving you money. I know you're whining, and I know the guys are whining now because you want your money. But I'm suggesting to you that that is taxpayer money, and we have a right to hold people accountable for that money. And I have asked, and I've been very clear. I gave a 4-page document. The first page was just a cover page to ask for things that I desired from OPEC. I went to, at that time, Mr. James Silliman, and I spoke to him before December expressing what I desired to see. Apparently I wasn't taken very seriously. I came back and I said in January, I said, everything I asked for, they said, no, that's not how things work, that's not how things go. Then I took Amy in with me because Amy didn't believe that it was no to all those different things. We asked to record it. We have the recorded meeting with permission. That ain't how it works, that's not how it goes. And all I was asking for was a more central focus on Camden. We're offering services that come out of taxpayer money, and we cannot ask for any more taxes. So we're going to have to find ways of bringing revenue into our city. We have people that we want to pair with jobs. And all I've asked for was industry inside. When I asked for the industry to bid the Port of Camden, James Nixon was sent to me to tell me that's not how it works. He had a plan for later on. These are things that I know for a fact have literally happened. I have had meetings with Mr. Dean who's sitting there. I've had meetings with several people who have asked for simple things. I just want to put the people inside of the city of Camden to work, and I believe that we can find an industry that can do that. So I offered today, which is late, but I did offer an opportunity to talk with a consulting team to just focus on Camden with half of those funds. And if they can't produce anything in Camden, they don't get all that money. It's just based on an agreement to actually have someone who's going to focus on Camden. Calhoun County is doing fine. We're not enemies with Calhoun County. I'm not picking a fight with Calhoun County. I love the defense industry in Calhoun County. I'm saying if we're going to be regional, we also need to offer something ourselves and not just be recipients of the good things that's happening in another county. Let's work on what we can do for ourselves. I don't get this welfare mindset. Give me my money and let me whether I do it or not. You don't ask me any questions. I don't need a mission or a vision statement. I asked to go and visit the sites. I went to visit those sites in September of last year. I asked to go visit them in December of the year before. That's how I got to visit the sites, and it was because Judge McAdoo understood why I was saying, I don't see why they want me to keep signing off on stuff and nobody's communicating at all with me except to say, give me some more money. And I just don't get the money without production. That's more welfare than any of the things that have been brought before me about other communities and other people. But to call you to the particular point that you did mention, I do want to say again, when I went to the executive board meeting where you guys asked me for the 50,000, where James Hicks asked me for the 50,000, there was a meeting that everybody was in the executive board meeting at the old OPED building, except one person who walked in late. So everybody walked out of the office for the executive board meeting and came to the meeting that was there. And I thought the meeting was going to be another kind of meeting, and it ended up being a meeting about just me giving up money. So that's what happened.
Mayor, nobody, I think I told you when you went in office, if you remember, you sat at my desk and asked me to help you, and I told you I'd help you, and I tried.
Yes, sir.
And I still try, you're my mayor. But there's never been an agenda out to keep things from you, but you have to come to meetings. You can't not come to meetings and know what's going on. And I've always made it a point as OPED president to show you every courtesy, even before you were mayor.
Okay.
I did. I went out of my way. And the other day, when we had that prospect with the hemp factory, okay? Hey, what was my email to you? It seems like you have the lead on this, Mayor. Go for it. I mean, we said it seemed like you were in the lead and this could have been a viable deal. You never know. It's just like fishing. You got a bunch of bobbers out there, they're bobbing. Every once in a while you will catch a fish. But you had the lead on this, and our instruction for you to go for it. We didn't need somebody else jumping in there. That's the teamwork we're trying to present and do. Unified. We got to be unified.
Yes, sir.
And let me tell you something about the money that has been appropriated for, I hate to use the word here, plaintiffs, which is our mainstay. That is for training. It is only for training. You know, they do not get one dime until they all give us a roster with names of who has completed their courses. And then they can claim whatever it is per man, okay? And do you know something else that's gonna blow your mind? A lot of times they don't even claim the money. It's the good faith of us offering it to them. Now, Mr. Board, don't shake your head, I'll show you.
I'm not shaking my
They don't
head.
claim the money sometimes.
No, sir.
But they know we care enough about them, and when I say them, yes, it's Lockheed, yes, it's Airfield, yes, it's you. It's the people that works there. It's the people that's working out there, that go out there and work and bring their paychecks back to Camden, they cash them. They spend the money in the stores and the restaurants and buy cars from me. That's where tax base is. But if we have never, ever said no to anything in Camden. Bring it up. And we operate by democracy. We have a meeting. Bear brings up an idea. We kick it around. It's a good idea. It goes to the full board. It gets voted on to try. You know, I've never seen us vote down one thing. I've been on the board probably about 7 or 8 years. I've never seen us vote down one idea. And that's the truth as I know it. That was a long 3 minutes, wasn't it?
Thank you so much, sir.
But I love Camden.
Yes,
I'll go down fighting for Camden.
Yes, sir.
He gets the.
I need to clear the air, and I hate to public speak, and I'll just want to deal with it. But, Mayor, you've harped on this secret meeting and secret meeting and secret meeting. I was in the meeting that you're referring to, and you know it was.
He doesn't know y'all had it.
Well, no, hang on. Our executive director wears 2 hats. He is the chairman of OPED. He is also the chairman of CAIDC. CAIDC is a private organization. I happen to be the president of it. The day we were in there, we were
I'm on that board
discussing-
too. I wasn't invited to the meeting. That's
Well,
right.
we were discussing rail stuff.
Uh-huh.
So, was there a meeting? Yeah, but we were discussing CAIDC.
But I'm on that
business.
board. I didn't get my email. Keep going, sir.
Well, if you'd have got there on time, you would have been in there with us.
I didn't know you were having a meeting before the meeting.
It wasn't a planned meeting. We were in there discussing CAIDC
Okay.
business.
I apologize for interrupting. Keep going, sir.
All right, that's all I got to say.
Thank you. All right.
I got one more little thing to say before we're gonna, I'm thinking, or is there somebody else coming up? 1620, is that the resolution that's on the floor?
It's not a resolution.
Or it's just a resolution, all we've done is amended the agenda, okay. I want to say this about the 75,000 and what Mr. Golden is saying is, if you want to do things at home, sending $75,000 to some consultant from out of town with a briefcase and some credential from somewhere, I don't know that that's really going to do us that much good either. Over my 40 years here in business, 45 years, I wish I could count up and knew some monetary number of these, I'm trying to think of a good word to use on these consultants that have come in here with a new idea for this and a new idea for that, and they come in here, they take our money, they have a good meal, we have a ribbon cutting or something, they're gone, and nothing ever comes of it. They just got some ideas. You know, they take our money and they're gone, and they don't have any skin in the game. They're not here. A lot of them aren't even in state. And anyway, so it's just, I've seen it over and over, these consultants, they got credentials, and maybe they did good in San Antonio with their river walk, but our river ain't the same as San Antonio. Anyway.
To that end, I do want to make this statement that the way I wanted to work and negotiate, I was bidding for time to actually work things out with our city attorney. So that's what I was hoping for. However, what I've tried to work on so far is that we don't spend any money without a connection to an actual industry. I'm saying we don't just bless or fund something without some kind of commitment to something happening in Camden. That's all I'm asking. I'm asking to hold the $75,000 over. If OPED comes up with a plan that will do something in Camden, I'll be open to giving them a piece of that $75,000. But you're telling me about another county and another area that is already doing well and that will continue to do well. That is not dependent on OPED for their success. They're not dependent on OPED. They don't make the decision as to whether or not businesses expand or grow or come. And I think you're giving them much more credit than you would evaluate other things on. All right, so what do? We don't, everything came in today, nothing came in early. So
we'll make a motion to introduce the resolution.
all right,
I would like to make a motion to amend the agenda and introduce, can I do it at the same time? Resolution 1620, which calls for the funding of $150,000, and attached to it the contract that I just attached there with you, passed out there.
Let me ask you a question. Since we have both resolutions, we can introduce both of them, but do we need to go in order, or we can do that one first, or? I'm just saying, we got two resolutions, do we need to start with 1520, or do we need to go in order, or it don't make a difference?
I've introduced 1620 or made a motion to amend the agenda and introduce 1620 with the OPED contract attached to it.
okay, so we have a motion. Motion is a second.
Second.
Motion has been seconded for discussion. I would like to say that number 12 was one of the things I wanted to consider, at least looking into. So this particular contract as is, I'd like to at least consider that one, and then I had some other things that I wanted to consider. And I want to say, in the words of one who was here earlier, I love Camden, pro-Camden, but I'm so pro-Camden that I want it to be about Camden. I want the actual spending to be about Camden. That's all I'm not against OPED, I'm just pro-Camden. I'm not in charge of Calhoun County. I want to just be concerned about making sure that there is industry here in Camden. I am pro Lockheed and everywhere that we're working sitting at this table. I'm all for that. But being for that doesn't mean that I'm against somebody else. It just means that I have to focus our energies, and with limited monies, as you would bring up in other instances, some of that money needs to be more focused on bringing industry into our own city limits. Any more discussion? I guess I'll ask, why wouldn't we do 15 in front of 16? Why wouldn't somebody,
Well, I got a question and I got a statement here. It bothers me when all of these things come in and they don't come through the normal format. I don't know why it didn't come through the normal format. Number one, that's just a question. You can answer me next week, next year, whatever. I understand everybody's talking about they really invested in Camden and this. I'm invested in Camden. I've been here 65 years. And I could have worked other places. I worked New York, Florida, Virginia, everywhere. But I'm invested in Camden. I'm in the kid raising business, grandkids raising business. And that counts for something. But everybody got an investment, and if you follow the money trail, it comes back to why you invested in that. Come on now, this ain't hard to figure out. We can say whatever we want to, but at the end of the day, it's what I'm gonna get out of something, whatever I put into it. And I'm just saying I'm not getting anything out of it. It's not personal, it's business with me. I have to invest my money where it's gonna be invested wisely, and I get a return on my dollar. And I wanna see somebody representing me at the table. That's all I'm saying. If that's wrong, I'm sorry.
Forgive me, Ellie, could I see your copy of the contract you passed out? I didn't, I wasn't able to.
Came to Chip. I think that's got the 1620 resolution. There's no doubt.
Yeah, that's supposed to have
It's 4 o'clock this afternoon.
19 and 20.
I got 3 different revised agendas.
I don't know why it's gotta go down the line.
Oh, this is the new one?
yes, sir.
Okay. Is this what you passed out?
That's what he passed.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So this is what you
Well, you
passed?
said it was based on one from last year.
The one
Last year's,
the one from 19.
this year's
stapled in behind it.
Yeah.
Just so you can see that how little terminology changed. They had a new program, they CD something or another that they put in and changed their mailing address and.
Well, I think
Is there a motion holding the,
we need to discuss.
Okay.
I think the word change we need to discuss the contract given 2019.
is there a motion holding the floor?
So, there is a motion to amend, and they want to go, somebody wants to go with 16, the motion will take is 1620. All right, he want to make a statement.
Well, I mean, while Mr. Bell was looking at the contract, I mean, this is just a suggestion. That we table this. I mean, this contract, it's got scratch screws,
There's no scratch throughs, that's underlining the difference, the
And-
changes.
well, I mean, you know, and like you said, we don't even have 1620 before us. We've been going, I mean, you got it.
Well, if
we
you
don't
mail it
have-
out this afternoon, I'll send everybody
But
that.
I'm just saying, can we come back and do this another time? You know, the mayor got 1520, we've been going in order, now we're going out of order.
I'd like to put a motion on the floor that we table it.
Yeah.
Get whatever you want to get, bring before the board. I will look at it in earnest. You know, there's some things I voted for, I ain't going to vote for, but if you convince me that's what we should be doing, but all of this coming in and everybody coming, no, that's not how this system works. Just bring me something. Let me read it.
So, the next logical step is,
That's a priority motion, so we need a second on motion to table.
I'd
The
second.
motion is the thing, motion passed, that second is the motion to table.
I'll second the table.
so that's a priority.
Discussion on that.
So we
Yes.
need to vote on that. That's voice, so it's, all right? We have a
I guess
motion.
you could have discussion on that.
Discussion on the
You
motion,
could have
yeah.
discussion on the motion to table.
I think we're just dragging this thing around if we keep beating it up. I think we need to concentrate on spending some future time on this payroll situation that we talked about in our last budget year.
I agree.
It hadn't been brought back up.
I agree.
There's other things we got going, and if we'd spend our time working on, there's a reason OPEB was set there, is we didn't want city politics to get messed up in doing that. And that's the reason they're an independent group. So I'm not for voting to get City Hall back involved in trying to manage the economic development business.
I just want us to table so we can, get our arms wrapped around all this. We're gonna have some paper thrown at us, snuck at us here at the last minute. That's all I'm saying.
We have a second on the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Now
I don't need that. We don't have it.
so, we have a motion and a second.
Any more discussion?
Is there any more discussion?
To table.
To table. All right? Those in favor, use voting sign of aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, use voting sign of nay.
No.
Now we get to go
That's for
back.
show of hands.
Those in favor, raise your hand.
In favor of table?
In favor of table. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those opposed to table, raise your hand. All right, so that means I get to go. And I vote to table.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Do I break that down?
That is right, that's 1620.
16. Is that motion for what? Do you have a motion for 15?
No, I'm just saying 1520 is introduced. So we got 1620, is the only thing that's introduced, we stay. That's $150,000.
That's how many
So everybody knows.
Well, maybe I should have, I was looking at table everything. We need to sit down and that's what you was thinking about.
Yeah, but I don't know that we need to bring it up and then table it and talk about it between now and next month.
So just table it all.
All right,
Yeah.
that will work. All right, is that, what's the next move? Any more business?
All right.
I had one more thing. I was asked by a constituent to ask about the new vehicle we've got. You got asked to?
Yep.
And I was just curious, because I said, well, we got 2 trucks coming up on the agenda tonight. And this and the other said, no, this is a new fancy ride at City Hall. I said, well, I don't know anything about that. It wasn't in our budget. And he said, well, I understand that it's parked at City Hall. And I said, well, I'll ask about it. The only way I can figure out it can be bought without being in our budgets through the drug force, or task force money, or whatever that seizure money is. I don't know.
They didn't say we're gonna say, don't, let's get.
One of the police cars.
Yes, the one, we approved 2 new police
Yeah.
cars last month, and the mayor has deemed that one of those is for him, and a
Now, be
police
careful
officer
about
can
giving
have
me
his own
words.
car that's no longer
This is
working.
going a little bit
Well,
far.
okay, that's far, I didn't know what to,
Now, let's be respectful of each other. If you hear me say something, you can say what I say.
Okay.
If you don't hear me say anything, you don't have to give me words. I don't have gifts for you, so don't give me words. Now, here's what I'm suggesting to you now. We have another vehicle here at City Hall. You're absolutely correct. But we've always had vehicles. Is there something wrong with my having a vehicle at City Hall? Or is there something wrong with the person who saw I was driving a vehicle before, right? Right, I was driving, right, and so I'm driving a vehicle now, right? And so what I'm suggesting to you is that I pay a price. Every paycheck, they take money out of my paycheck to drive the car that I drive. All right, so now, if they have a problem with the mayor driving a car, and they didn't have a problem with any of the other mayors driving a vehicle, then you should probably ask them, why would he be so different? Do you think you know what's different about this mayor? Ask him, what's so different
I
about
wanna
this
ask
one
if you-
driving a car? I was driving one last month.
What's wrong with that one?
Nothing's wrong
Why
with
don't you
that
go
one.
and take the brand new one that we approved for police officers? To me, that seems a little shady.
Right.
We voted for 2 new police cars thinking that they were gonna go to patrol officers.
And it
the
did.
brand new one
went to the mayor, and the mayor's old car went to a police officer. Is that what happened?
And the
Is that
other,
correct?
yes, sir, you're absolutely correct. But can we discuss the fact that it was two and another person drives the second one, and we don't even think that anything is wrong with another person driving the other new one? What is so different about me?
Let me ask you, what vehicle is it? Is it an Expedition? I heard it was an Expedition.
Oh.
I'm trying to think, that isn't a police car.
Well, you voted on the you voted on that. That's what you voted on. Yes, sir.
I missed it.
Yes, sir.
The
The only difference between last month and this month. All right, what else we got?
I have forms for everybody, if you're looking at reelection. I went ahead and printed out the helpful information for you, and I have it if you want it.
Can I get back to you on that?
I'm carrying.
All right, is there any other business before the council? I want to encourage citizens, will you please hold your council persons and all persons accountable for the way they're voting? Will you contact them to find out, figure out if they're really representing your values? All right, I get to drive a car and I pay to drive the vehicle. I pay to drive. They take money out of my check every pay period to drive the vehicle. All right? I get to drive, they voted to get me. It can't be so wrong for me to drive. It can't be that wrong. I mean, I don't want to say who else is driving one, but what makes me so different is I don't know. Nobody will tell me the truth about the real difference in me, and I don't get it. What makes me so different that I can't have anything that a previous mayor has had. I can't do anything. And those of you, I'm being subpoenaed for things, FOIA for everything. I can't make a move in this city. And everybody wants me to believe that it's something else. But the only thing I see real different about me, the only reason I think that we keep talking about this is some people are not necessarily racist, but they're segregationists, and they want me to stay in my place. I was elected for this position, and I plan to serve and be the best mayor that I can possibly be. Will you please make sure that the people who are representing you are representing your values when they are voting? Please, please do so. Hold them accountable, not just me. Hold all of us accountable. All of us need to do the right thing every time. And this color is not going to change. It's not going away. I take baths. It's not leaving. You will have a black mayor until my term is up. All right. Now I'm going to remain black. That ain't going to change. We can vote white, black in every vote, or we can start holding these people accountable and say, I think we should have thought about that one before we did. It's 2020, right? 2020. Why are we still acting like we're back some years ago?
Got a question. And Jim, you may can answer this better than anybody. I'm going to ask a question saying, has the police department budget always funded the city, is the mayor's car, and before that, the city manager's car? I don't remember Clay Baker buying his vehicle out of the police fund.
Trissolini had a police car.
Always.
Yeah, we need her.
Don't ever notice that.
I move that we join.
I move that we adjourn.
Let's go. Test them out there. Test you. My brother.